Hi Year 2, welcome to our first English lesson of this week. I would like you to write today's date and skill into your book. Today's date is Monday the 18th of January 2021 and the skill for today is to identify features of a biography. I would like you to write this in your book and unpause the video when you're ready to begin today's English lesson. Off you go. Okay, our starter then. Write the correct contractions for each pair of words. Before we do this, I want you to turn to the person next to you or have a discussion at home or a little think on your own. What is a contraction? Think back to last week, we discussed this a little bit. What is a contraction? Pause the video. Okay, a contraction is one word made from two words. The first word usually stays the same. Certain letters are taken out of the second word and an apostrophe will fill the space of the missing letters. So is not becomes isn't. We've replaced the O, we've pushed it together, taken the O out and put an apostrophe in its place. Thinking about that then, if we have this example, I am, what would I am become if we were turning it into a contraction? Tell the person next to you. Let's see if you were right. Let's push it together. I am becomes I'm. So we've taken the A away and we've replaced the A with an apostrophe and I am has become I'm. Okay, thinking about that then, you are now going to be given three pairs of words and you are going to write these one under each other in your book. So we've got cannot, I will and we have. I want you to write these three words, one under each other, in your book. Pause the video, off you go. Okay, hopefully then you'll have those words in your book. Next to those words, I would like you to write the correct contractions for each pair of those words. Okay, I'd like you to pause the video, off you go. Let's see how you got on. I'd like you to tick each one you got right. Cannot will become can't. We've taken away one of the N's and the O and we've replaced it with an apostrophe and it's become can't. I will becomes I'll. We've taken away the W and the I and we've replaced it with an apostrophe and we've got I'll. We have becomes we've. So we've taken away the H and the A and we've now got we've. We've put the apostrophe instead of the H and the A. Okay, well done. Give yourself a tick for each one you got right. Okay, this week then we are going to be looking at biographies. But first of all, I want you to think, what is an astronaut? And do you know the names of any astronauts? So you can think back to your learning in year one as well. So I know you do a topic in year one all about space. What is an astronaut? And do you know the names of any astronauts? So pause the video and discuss this with your partner. Off you go. An astronaut is someone who is trained to travel in a spacecraft, live in space and carry out scientific experiments. There are many famous astronauts including Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, and those two astronauts travelled to the moon. They were the first people on the moon. Okay, this week then we're going to be writing a biography about an astronaut. Now we have already written a biography in year 2 about Roald Dahl. So think back to that then. What is a biography? Tell the person next to you. Okay. A biography is an account of someone's life written by someone else. So this week our biography is going to be written about an astronaut by you. And the astronaut we're going to be writing about is called Tim Peake. Tim Peake is a British astronaut that travelled to the International Space Station, also called the ISS for short, and he travelled there in December 2015. So this is him here, and this is the International Space Station. We're going to learn a little bit more about him and the ISS today and tomorrow. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at the features of a good biography then. Can you remember any of the features of a biography that we used when we wrote our biography about Roald Dahl's life? I want you to pause the video and have a little think. Off you go. Okay, well done. Let's see if you remembered these features then. So we have got Factual information, so it's really important we use lots of facts about this person's life in their biography. Chronological order, we're going to talk about that in a moment. Subheadings, and we use these in our news report about Jessica Ennis-Hill last week. Paragraphs, third person, and past tense, and we're going to be talking about those three features a little bit more in a moment too. Okay, let's go through these features together then. Past tense. Past tense shows that it's happened in the past, so it's already happened. He's already travelled to the ISS, to the International Space Station. We're going to be using lots of the ed suffix this week because when that is added to verbs, it shows it's happened, the action has already happened. Okay, and we've looked at the ed suffix last week, so we're going to be using that knowledge this week lots. Knowing that then, can you think of an example of a sentence that we might write about Tim Peake travelling to the International Space Station that would use past tense? I would like you to pause the video please and talk to the person next to you, see if you can come up with a sentence together. Off you go. Okay, so you might have come up with an idea like, for example, he flew to the International Space Station, or he prepared to fly to the ISS. Okay, let's have a look at our next feature then. Third person. When something is written in third person, we use he, she and they. And once again, I would like you to think of an example that we might use in our biography about Tim Peake this week using he, she or they. Pause the video please and talk to the person next to you. Okay, so we might have come up with an example like he trained really hard to become an astronaut, or he wore a spacesuit. Next one then, chronological order. This is where something is written in the correct order of the events that they occurred. So we don't want to say that he landed and then say he took off to go to the space station. It needs to be in the order of the events as they occurred in real life. Okay. Last one then, paragraphs. This is a group of sentences about an idea or topic. So if we have a paragraph, it's going to be about, we might have a paragraph about Tim Peake's early life, for example, and then maybe a little bit about him training to become an astronaut. So the whole paragraph is going to be about a particular area or subject or topic. Okay. Your first task then, now we've gone through those 4 features, I would like you to write past tense, chronological order, third person and paragraphs into your book, and underneath each of those features I would like you to write your own definition, so what each of those features mean. Pause the video please and complete this task now. Okay, I'm sure your definitions are brilliant. Let's move on then. A biography should use a hook at the beginning that really draws the reader in to keep reading. This could be a rhetorical question that gets you thinking, or it could be a really interesting fact that makes us want to read on and find out more about Tim Peake. The first paragraph of a biography should summarise the main events of a person's life. Let's read through an example then of the first paragraph of a biography written about Tim Peake, and I want you to think, can you spot the features that we've discussed today? So here it is, here's our example. Now I'm going to read through this example, and as I'm reading I want you to be thinking, where are those features that we've discussed, and then I'm going to show you where they are afterwards. So listen nice and carefully. The title is Rocket Man, the Life of Tim Peake, our astronaut. Tim Peake, whose full name is Timothy Nigel Peake, is an astronaut with the European Space Agency. He was the first British astronaut with the agency and was the 7th British-born person to go into space. It's quite an achievement, isn't it? Peake was born in Chichester, West Sussex in 1972. He studied at the town's high school for boys and later attended the well-known military academy at Sandhurst. After graduating in 1992, he joined the army and became a flight instructor and helicopter pilot. In 2006, he completed a degree course in flying dynamics at the University of Portsmouth. Okay, now I'd like you to pause the video and tell your partner, or have a little think, or discuss with your adult at home, where were those features that we've been talking about? Off you go. Let's see then. We've got a hook to interest the reader. So that title makes us want to learn a little bit more about him. We find space really interesting and we want to know more, don't we? Summary of main events. So that first paragraph tells us a little bit about his career, about the fact he's an astronaut, tells us some really interesting facts that makes him seem really important. It makes us want to read more, doesn't it, to find out more about Tim Peake. Paragraphs then. So this is an example of the first paragraph where all that information is chunked into one paragraph to keep it all together. Third person. So we can see he. We've used third person really clearly throughout this example. Past tense, so it's already happened. We've used past tense consistently. And chronological order. So we wrote that he was born first, and then we put about his achievements, about his studying in the high school, and then he went to a military academy, and then all about him joining the army and then completing a degree. So it's all in the order of the events as they happened in real life. Okay, there are gaps in this biography, and there's a big hint there with third person as to what might need to fill those gaps. I've given you a big hint. Your second task, I would like you to talk to the person next to you. What might you put in there to fill the gaps? You do not need to write anything. You simply have to read through and have a discussion. Okay, I'd like to pause the video. Off you go. Okay, well done. So hopefully then you have filled those gaps, thinking about third person, using your definition that you've put in your book. Well done. Today then, you are going to have a copy of the full biography written about Tim Peake. This copy of the biography is going to be underneath this video on the school's website for you to download and print if you would like to. Your task then, you need to annotate the biography with some examples of the features we've discussed, like chronological order, past tense, third person, and paragraph. So use those definitions that you did in your first task to really help you with this activity. So again, past tense, chronological order, third person, and paragraph. So I'd like you to pause the video and annotate this biography now, really thinking about those features and where you can see those features in this example. Pause the video, please. Okay, your challenge now then. Once you've done this, I want you to underline the various sentence openers that have been used in a different colour. Okay, there are lots of different sentence openers in this example, and I want you to choose a colour or a few colours and underline the sentence openers, as this will help you when you come to write your own biography. Think about how you could start your sentences. Pause the video please and have a go at this activity. Okay, your steps to success today then. Find key features of a biography. Annotate the key features using labels, which you should have all done by now. List the sentence openers and conjunctions you find. So after you have annotated and underlined the sentence openers, you might like to write a list of sentence openers and conjunctions that you have found when reading the example. You might then, if you really want to challenge yourself today, once you've completed all those other activities, you might like to rewrite a section of the biography and improve it using our features. So can you make it even better? Okay, now I would like you to pause the video please, have a go at all these activities, and then when you're ready, come back to unpause for our plenary. Off you go. Okay, welcome back. Our plenary, would you like to be an astronaut and fly to the International Space Station? Why or why not? So this is a really good thinking point then. Would you like to be an astronaut and fly to the space station? Why or why not? So come up with a couple of reasons maybe, and I would like to pause the video and have a little think about this. Okay, I'm sure lots of you said that you would absolutely love to go to the International Space Station. Okay, well done for today's lesson, Year 2. Bye!